All right. I think we're live. What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday, December 21st. Let me see who's in the chat here. Sam, Yuka, what's going on? Yuka says, have you had any Japanese curry? We've been to some curry shops. Are they? No, I'm not thinking of curry, Yuka. What is the other Japanese dish? Not sushi. Tyler B, what's up? Z Akbar, how you doing? What is that other damn Japanese dish? It's kind of a soupy thing. Not sashimi, not sushi. God damn it, they're really popular here. This is a late night chat, Mikey. I don't have anything specific to go over with you guys. Just checking in and see how everybody's doing. Scarlett was out running ramen. Thank you. Yes, I do love some ramen, and we got some good ramen shops here. I was just thinking a couple weeks ago about getting some, but it's not on my regular like restaurant visit stuff. I'm not talking like ramen cup of noodles that you buy from the grocery store. The legit Japanese ramen. That's some good stuff. Gia, what's up? Mike, Six Son. We are just hanging out. Look, I'll field whatever questions you guys want to talk about. Mainly, I want to know how everybody's doing. I just see so much still like angst and despair and desperation as we finish up now almost our 13 month in a bear market. And use this time to vent if you need to. I had to talk to some people in the Discord, talk to some people in Twitter. And I understand everybody's going through a rough time right now. Bear markets are like that. You guys are not alone. Even the pros are down. Many of them big bucks, depending on what they had bet on. I did not watch the Zelensky dog and pony show, Jay Beebs. I had the TV on, but the volume off. I saw them talking. I didn't watch a lot of news today, to be honest. I did hear that in that spending bill, we authorized what, like $46 billion for Ukraine, more than they even originally had asked for. I haven't dug through all of that spending bill. I spent a little bit of time trying to get up to speed on the whole Japanese bond issue, but bonds are complicated. I'll just say this: I'm not going to talk about it at length tonight because I don't want to say something incorrect. How that all is going to affect the global economies, it's very complicated. Mike says the Zelensky Biden thing was a complete joke. So I didn't miss anything you're saying. I did see some news today, early morning. I'm sure you guys have all seen it by now, that the AMC was in talks with Citigroup about maybe buying some of their more choice properties, and that deal didn't work out. We talked months ago about the Warren Buffett video that was making the rounds in August, where Mr. Buffett was talking about good dilution using preferred shares that he was trying to get authorized back in the day. This was a investors meeting 10 years or so ago. And he was saying, look, if you guys authorize these shares and we use them to improve the value of the company, if we use them wisely for acquisitions or something, that, especially if we get them at a discount, that is good dilution. So I think maybe that's what Adam Aaron was angling for, using some ape to pick up some other theaters. But for whatever reason, it didn't work out. It was interesting to me to see that he was attempting something. and picking them up without debt. When do I see the bear market ending? Six Sun. I think the worst is ahead of us, unfortunately. Potentially, Six Sun, the next 3 months. So kind of the message I'm preaching is I want you guys to steel your emotions. I want you to tighten your belts. I want you to get cold-blooded. I want you to get emotionless and be prepared that things could get worse before they get better. That's my message tonight. And it's going to be okay. If whatever stock or basket of stocks you're holding goes down, it's not going to be alone. It's not going to be in isolation. If the market has a severe correction between now and March, everything's going to go down. Just maintain your sanity. Sometimes that last massive correction is what we need to kick off things getting better. So like I was telling someone in the Discord today, I try not to obsess over things I'm not in control of. I know we're in a bear market. You guys know we're in a bear market. We've talked many, many times about big money leaving risky assets like stocks in a rising interest rate environment. That's just, hey guys, it is what it is. None of us can do anything about it. No one's being picked on in particular. Everything's getting decimated. Look for deals. Especially, I want you to be looking for blue chip stocks. I added some Tesla recently, some Amazon, some Meta. I bought some more GameStop today. I bought AMC last week, but spread your risk out. You don't want to be betting your whole future on one company. There's many stocks on sale right now if you've got a long-term outlook. Are you going to get rich, moonshot on all of them? No, but you want to be picking up good, solid companies with a longer-term outlook, and then just close your eyes until the bear market's done. Don't go all in. Wait to see if things come down a little bit more. You can pick up dollar cost average down on some things. And, we'll get through this together. I'll be here. Six Sun, I'm already buying some blue chips, and I've posted a few charts in the Discord with my buy zones on some of these. I was hoping to grab some Nike, but they improved their inventory situation, so it didn't go down as far as I was hoping to get it at. Would they go up like 12%? I got the chart here. Massive jump from 101 to a high of 119 today. I was thinking it could go well below 100 if they missed, but now I'm back on waiting to add Nike. But good job if you grab some near 100. That's a nice day. Devil Inside says, thank you for the hopium. Yeah, there's a lot of other channels out there for hopium. I'm gonna be the person you can rely on to know if the hopium doesn't pan out. I love the hopium channels too, but if it doesn't pan out, I still want you to know you're going to be okay. That's the bottom line. You're going to be okay. Steven says, buy McDonald's right now. I haven't looked at Mickey D's lately. I have owned it in the past. I don't have any now. Let me see what the chart's looking like. That is another good one to consider adding. McDonald's, Disney, Google, Tesla, Apple. Maybe not Disney right now, but what else have we talked about, Steven? Costco. Oh, yeah. That McDonald's chart looks beautiful. Nothing but straight up from the bottom left to the bottom right, as many years as you want to go back. Those are what you want to have the bulk of your portfolio in. Yes, they're boring. 5%, 10%, 20% per year. But on the years that you buy them when it's cheap, those are good years. We got the bomb cyclone about to hit Texas tonight. I think either tonight or tomorrow night, we're supposed to get down to 19 degrees, which is cold for Texas. If it's already hitting you, let me know. What should I be expecting? My phone's been going crazy with severe cold weather warnings. I hope the chickens survive. They're on their own. They survived a week of sub-freezing temperatures last year. I think they'll be fine on one night of cold temps this week. Minus 15 degrees, Yucca. Holy shit. Grandpa Barney sent me a photo of him out working lines in the snow and stuff up there in the Gig Harbor area. Man, I don't know how you guys do that. I mean, I did that when I was little, when it was fun, when we dressed up in snowsuits and played in the snow all day, but not a big fan of snow or cold weather anymore unless I'm visiting it on purpose. Doesn't matter, says Wisconsin getting below 0, 10 inches of snow and 50-mile-an-hour winds. Holy shit. State of emergency in Georgia. Habitual line holder says, when wife changing money. You know, if I'm realistic about it, I think, maybe second half of 2023. I really spent all of 2022 thinking we'd have a soft landing, and yeah, that didn't happen. So now we're on to a new year. We're almost there. We're about to find out if the Santa rally is real as we finish out this month. I got a little bit of clarity as I was watching TV the other day. I heard someone say that the Santa rally, that the period that they measure is really the last 5 days of December and the first 2 of January. So we'll see. I was thinking it was the whole month of December, but I don't know everything. So I got a moment of learning from watching TV the other day. A couple of tickers I was watching today. I always joke about the CEO handbook. You know how Cosmos did that reverse split and then immediately announced a dilution. I called that on Friday, and then the dilution happened on Monday. There were a couple more today that did reverse splits. The price was running up because retail thinks that a QSIP change and a reverse split makes all the shorts cover. Ran that price up and boom, dilution. I'm going to keep on talking about my imaginary CEO handbook 101 because I want you guys to always keep that in mind as you're playing these momentum plays. I want you to keep in mind to don't be scared to take profits. Be cautious about people giving you price targets because you never know when the CEO is going to drop a dilution, and it is in the handbook. When the price is running up, you should be expecting. I want it to be trained like you're doing self-defense training. Price is running up. What's next? I should be expecting dilution. I might not want to carry all of this overnight. That's my little bit of wisdom for you guys tonight. Six Sun says, have you ever experienced a Santa rally? About 81%, if I remember the stats correctly. Six Sun, 81% of the years have a uptick at the end of December. Do I think AMC should do a reverse split? No. I don't buy into that whole thesis going around right now that a reverse split causes shorts to cover. I think a reverse split gets retail investors excited and they FOMO it up, and that could cause some shorts to cover. But typically the trend after a reverse split is the price just runs right back down. Unless you're there have been some big blue chip companies where through time, for whatever reason, their price gets run down, and they say, we're a top company on the NYSE. Our stock really shouldn't be trading at $7. We're going to do a 3-for-1, a 1-for-3 reverse split, or a 1-for-5, just to get our price to where we think more properly demonstrates, the value of our company. We want to be a $30 stock, not a $7 stock. And those companies where they have a history of profits and the stock going up, that you're not going to see that get run down. But these penny stocks that are doing reverse splits to save getting run into the pink sheets, almost every single time, there'll be a couple days of volatility, but almost every single time the long-term trend is down. So I'm not a big fan of reverse splits unless you are forced to do it by an exchange. Have I ever looked at Dillard's? Yeah, I mean, I like Dillard's, the company, Candace, but that goes back to childhood memories. I'm not typically an investor in retail companies that have brick and mortar stores and own inventory. What's the ticker? DDS. They've been on a tear since 2020. Just not something that I invest in. Their stock has been doing fantastic for the last 2 years, it looks like. $19 up to 312. I almost don't believe what I'm seeing. Hallie, good evening. GE did that cancel bubble. Yeah. I couldn't remember. I know that there's been some recently, some big blue chip stocks that they said we're doing a reverse split just because we don't think we want to be shown at that low price. Do I ever sleep, Nana? I took a nap after the market closed today. What about share buyback? Should AMC do a share buyback? That's a good question, Kim. One that I see people asking a lot. Here's my thoughts on that since you asked. I think that right now, the most important thing for AMC is to conserve and keep their cash. So for that reason, I would not be advocating for a stock buyback. I can tell you, I'll just make a prediction that the next few quarters, the thing that is going to be under the microscope the most, the thing that the bears are going to be complaining about and pointing to the most is AMC's cash. And they're going to try and say the company's going bankrupt because they're running out of cash. And the only way to do a stock buyback is to spend cash. So I would not recommend that. I would not ever advocate for that. And typically companies that have excess profits and excess cash, those are the ones that are using it. Look, when you got a boatload of cash and profits you don't know what to do with, you got a couple choices. You can invest in the company and try and improve, the company itself, technology, people, whatever. You can do acquisitions, buy up smaller competitors, or you can do stock buybacks, or you can just bank it for a rainy day. But the position that AMC is in right now, I would not favor any sort of stock buyback. I understand why people are saying it. You want to get the price pushed up and the outstanding shares down. But right now, just from an accounting perspective, they need to keep their cash. What am I drinking, Devil Inside? Black Label tonight. Salute to you, sir. Maggie says, "Has your broker settled on the reverse split?" I'll put that question out to the folks that are still holding Cosmos. So, as I discussed on lives and on the community tab, I think Twitter for sure. I sold my Cosm when I saw the announcement of the reverse split because typically it's bearish. What does that mean? It means I did not benefit from that massive FOMO run up the next day. Yeah, I'm kicking myself, but that was a statistical anomaly. I don't beat myself up for missing plays. There's always another one. I was holding Cosmos for good news, not for reverse split news. What is my opinion on Smile Direct? I haven't looked at the chart lately, but that's going to be my answer. And the chart looks like this. So that's a no for me. And I'm sure if I looked at the financials, there is a reason that the chart looks like that. Gus says, based on the charts, do you see AMC hitting the 50-day moving average by Friday? All right, that's a good question. Gus, let me pull it up. Let me add in the 50-day. I don't think I have that on my indicators. Hang on one second. Indicators, moving average. What one do I have in here? Stand by one sec. Edit, moving average. Really what I'm watching for, though, before I get this indicator updated, is I am watching for market pressure versus box office revenues from Avatar. All right, blue line. Share screen. That blue line is the 50-day. You're asking, do I see it hitting that by Friday? 2 days? Not unless some major good news comes out. But I did recently buy some down here in this bottom of the channel. What are my Patreon tiers, Sean? $5 is the one that most people do. Couple pennies per day just to have a community of reasonable, non pump and dump, non clickbait, non meme trade folks to hang out with and talk reasonable investing. We talk momentum plays, we talk real estate, we talk business, owning your own business, a lot of different things, but I would wager it's different than most communities. And it's not free, it's just a few pennies per day. It's not free because I don't want it to be looking like Twitter or Reddit. I don't want a bunch of bots in there. Did I sell Raya? I don't. Yeah, I mean, if I don't even remember if I owned Raya, but I know I don't have it now. Take a break and come to Portugal. I'd love to come back to Portugal. We did a a 2 or 3 week trip through Europe. Started in France. Stayed in France a few days. Went down to Spain. Home based. I think it was in Barcelona. Did a few train rides down over a course of days to Toledo and El Alhambra or whatever you call it, Sevilla. And the last day was in Lisbon, and we flew out of Lisbon. And I felt like that was not enough. One day in Portugal was not enough. So definitely on my list to come back. Steven's asking, I'll get to CEI in a second. Brian, Steven asking, am I still buying Phantom or do I still believe in it? I'm still long on all crypto in my belief system. But if you haven't been tuning into the live streams, I've moved most of my crypto holdings because of Voyager and FTX and all of these uh, exchanges failing. There's too much risk for my blood right now. So I moved most of my position into cash. Either that or it's in a cold storage wallet. And the reason that I have most of it in cash is not because I don't believe in crypto, but I think that there is still a high risk of, say, Bitcoin going down to 10 or 12,000. And if that means I got to buy back in Bitcoin at 18,000, I'm okay with that. Every day I look at it, every day I decide I'm happy being in cash for the moment. Look, if Bitcoin and Ethereum fall, everything's going down. Doesn't matter what I believe in. I'm worried about crypto in general having a major downturn. So I play it a little bit conservative. And when I feel like the risk has been wrung out of the system, I'll go back into my weekly buys. CEI, let's pull up that chart. I was watching Camber Energy today. They did a 1-for-50 reverse split, right? Is that right? Why does my chart look fucked up? This has never been a company that I said I want to own, but I'll play it when retail is pumping it up. What I saw is that people were thinking that CEI was going to have another run like Cosmos. For whatever reason, people think a reverse split is going to create shorts covering. I personally don't believe in that. But often it doesn't matter what I believe. If retail decides that they want to run it up, they're going to run it up. Any thoughts on PayPal, Al? I like Square and SoFi over PayPal. And that's just a personal bias based on PayPal's heavy-handedness and their social monitoring of people. But as I recall, the chart was looking like it was a pretty good buy if you like that company. SoFi, obviously, more risk, not making money yet. PayPal down to $69 from $310. I mean, yeah, where the chart is right now, if you don't think PayPal's going anywhere, good time to buy. Am I on a Cuban vibe? Sprocket, a long time ago, I used to do the cigars on the late night live stream, and then I got a YouTube strike, or a demonetization, I should say, not a strike. And I thought it was for smoking. So I didn't do it for a long time on camera. And then I recently started trying again. I was like, well, let me just double test that theory. And so far, they have not demonetized a evening live stream for smoking. So I enjoy it sometimes in the evening. I don't have a cigar every day, but it's a good way to wind down the day with a little bit of whiskey. Smith & Wesson cancel bubble. Yes, we just recently looked at Smith & Wesson in the Discord, and my thoughts are buy it between $5 and $9. Does that sound right? I'm having to go back in the memory bank a week. I think they're right around $9 right now. Buy it between $5 and $9, and wait for the next pandemonium. Wait for the next time in America that everybody goes crazy. You might need to hold it for a few years, but these gun and ammo stocks have these cycles with when America goes crazy, thinking that everybody's coming to get them. And yeah, if you can pick it up cheap and be patient, I think you'll be fine. What's up, Jeffrey? Jeffrey Roche, Smith & Wesson. Yeah, it's at 843. So my buy zone that I set in the Discord a week ago or so would be between $5 and $9. Recent high over $30. Imagine buying that for $8, $7, $6, $5. Hang on to it for a few years. You got a solid company, an American brand. Yes, governments are coming after guns and stuff, but they're not going away. You just got to wait for the next time that people go crazy and start buying guns up. I mean, I remember in 2020, you could walk into a gun store and you couldn't even find a gun. They had kids 12 gauge, they had kids 20 gauge shotguns. That was about it. Oh, Sprocket. It's all right. This is actually, I consider this my Italian hat. When I don't have a straw one, I need a Panamanian / Cuban hat, but I'll pick one of those up before the summer. And I got a black one of these on order. It is winter. I really shouldn't be wearing a white hat, but I don't have a black one. Other than that, how are you guys feeling about the market? How are you feeling about holding stocks? I haven't seen anybody complaining yet. Maybe my audience is just the Zen audience. Maybe you guys are cool. It's a fucking shit show out there, man, on social media. Twitter, YouTube comments. Need a gondola. I did a gondola ride in Venice when we were there for a vacation, and I've done it at the Venetian Hotel also in Vegas. I would highly, you got to do it in Venice. The Venetian Hotel doesn't compete. Can't wait to go back to Italy. I was just watching White Lotus. Anybody watching White Lotus? And this season 2, they're in Italy, and the premise of the show is some of the guests, some of the stars in the show are they're Italian ancestry, and they're taking Grandpa on one last trip to go meet the ancestors in Sicily. And I don't want to ruin it for you, but he goes to meet them, and it's not quite what he expected. But I did go to Italy for 3 weeks and met my family up in northern Italy, up in the Alps. Very tiny town, a map dot, very picturesque, and got to chat with them. Got to go see the house where my great grandfather grew up, still in family hands. Saw the cemetery full of all my relatives from back in the day. For me, that was a good trip. Not just ending it with that, but just spending 3 weeks driving around Italy, eating, drinking. Anytime we passed a farm that had they would have signs on the street, the little farm roads. If they were made their own wine, we'd stop in and chat with them, buy a bottle of wine every day, stop and buy some fresh bread, some meat from the butcher shop, and some cheese. That's what we'd snack on during the day, and we'd end every night with a meal that typically would last about 3 hours. They don't eat quickly over there for dinner. Scavenger, what's up? If you want to join in, Scav, I can send you a Twitter link. Let me know. Karen C says, I'm in it for the long haul. Big B says he's completely zen, averaging down every week. How much cash does AMC need to get through 2023, Stephen? So right now, Stephen, the way I'm calculating it, and this is just my calculations based on certain assumptions for Q4 and Q1, they have enough cash to last through the end of 2023. That is predicated on the fact of Q4 and Q1 bringing in a decent amount of revenue from Avatar, and then we roll into all the new movies in 2023. And that we see revenues every quarter going up in 2023. Obviously, if there's weakness and revenues go down in 2023, or there's a COVID situation that people, that COVID's going on in China, I'm not ignoring that. That could work its way over here. That will change many things for many companies, not just AMC. So those are all things that I worry about, that I keep an eye on, and I'm just taking it quarter by quarter. But based on where I think we'll be with Avatar, look, this weekend will be the second weekend. We got 3 weekends in December. I update my analysis every weekend and then every quarter. But right now, I would say we're good through the end of 2023, but Adam Aaron has an infinite amount of ape to sell. No one wants to hear that. No one likes to talk about dilution, the dirty D word. He's got plenty of cash that he can raise to ensure the viability. In fact, I think I might do a video tomorrow. I was talking to a client of mine If I'm not mistaken, I need to go look at his LinkedIn. If I'm not mistaken, he's been the CEO of companies. And I asked him yesterday, and this might just be a video topic just on itself. What do CEOs care about? Do they care about the retail investor? Give me your honest answer. And I'll tell you what he answered. He answered exactly what I would expect him to answer. And anyone who's been following my channel for a while, you might not find this as a surprise. Scavenger, if you want to pop in, let me know. Have I watched Stanley Tucci Searching for Italy on CNN? And he pops up. I see his ads, Andrew, and it looks like a great show. I love watching these shows of people traveling around to different countries and trying different foods and just getting to know the people. That'd be like a dream life for me. Christian Princess, you got folks on the family on the Amalfi Coast. Beautiful area. All right, Scavenger, hang on one second. Let me find where I put the link and I'll shoot it over to you. So my friend, he's a friend. I mean, I've known this gentleman. He's a client of mine, but I've known him since his kids were toddlers and they're graduated college now. So what he said, and I would, if you asked me, I would tell you the same answer. And I'm going to start asking everybody I know that's a CEO this question. Do CEOs care about retail investors? Why is that question on my mind? There you go, Scav. Why is that question on my mind? Because it's a hot debate right now, right? Adam Aaron cares about us. Adam Aaron doesn't care about us. I'm not going to talk about what Adam Aaron cares about because I don't know the man. I met him one time for 15 minutes. But the way the gentleman answered the question, which would go right along with my general thoughts, if I asked 100 CEOs, I bet 95 would say this. CEOs care about the survival of their company, the success of their company. And he went on further to say that investors who invest in that company, if the CEO is successful in making that company a viable entity, they enjoy the benefits of that. So do CEOs sit around and worry about, does retail investors love me? Do I care about what they want? I think no, they don't. They care about creating profitability, creating growth, making strategic decisions for the best of the company. And if you believe in that management and you believe in that company and you believe in the direction they're going, you enjoy the benefits of those choices that they're making as a retail investor. So that might be harsh. I believe in Adam Aaron. I don't think Adam Aaron cares about me. I think he cares about the success of his company. And that's the ride that I'm along for. All right, Scavenger, I see you. I'm using my avatar talk. I see you.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not too shabby. Yourself? Well, you already just answered that, of course.
I had a really interesting day. I don't know if I want to go into all of it. I told a few people about my day.
Not good or just interesting?
It was one for the bucket list. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Okay.
Nothing to do with stocks or finances.
Well, bucket list day is always good, right?
My life was on the line. I'll say that.
Oh boy.
All right. So someone asked about MMTLP and the chill notice from DTCC. I'm going to be blunt. This is the first time that I've ever heard of that. Have you heard of that before, Scavenger? A
No.
chill notice?
What was the? Will you say that one more time?
Uh,
Just so I can.
MMTLP, this company that went private, and they're going to spin off shares of a new company called NextBridge to the previous holders of MMTLP. They got a hot mess on their hands because that stock was shorted and then they stopped trading. And they got a hot mess to distribute shares to the shareholders, but they also got shorts they need to clean up. Whether the amount is the legitimate amount that was reported or the suspected amount of naked shorts, I don't know. I don't comment on that. But there are some shorts that need to be cleaned up. And how could you clean it up? How could they buy to close if you stop trading? That's a valid question. So the DTCC basically said they issued a notice, which is called a chill notice. Again, first time today that I've ever heard of that. That said, we're not doing anything till we sort this shit out. So
So it sounds like a cluster of
yes,
problems. Yeah.
I'm listening in, guys, in the evenings when I can to the space calls on MMTLP. I'm not the expert on MMTLP. I gave you my opinion back in October, which was to sell on or before the S1 effective date. You know, once they announce a date, I was pretty sure it would plummet, and it did. And look, you had your choice then. Some of the people in my Discord sold, and they said thank you, and they locked in a lot of profits. And some people said, I don't want to sell. I want to fight it out in court. Look, that's your choice, guys. I don't judge you for whatever you decide.
Could just
But
be a long waiting game.
yeah, now you're in a multi-year legal battle. So
Right.
that's on that. I want to keep up with it because if they discover any illegality, naked shorting, shenanigans, I want to know about it. I want to report on it. And I wake up every day hoping we expose somebody. But in my day-to-day existence, I want to take profits home.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of a shame with all that going on too, because like obviously, the shorts have a lot more pull. I don't know, you probably know a lot more about that situation going on than I do, but obviously this gives the shorts an opportunity to do some pretty interesting things, right? The question comes to, can they actually cover? Do they kind of throw everything underwater and forget about it? That's the question I would have.
this is really a unique scenario. Like I'm gonna be perfectly blunt. This whole, and I said this since October, this whole situation of a company taking a preferred share and spinning it off to a private company, that's not something you see every day.
Right.
And for that reason, I had a lot of doubts of all the YouTubers, these smaller channels that were saying they knew exactly what was going to happen, that this was going to $1,000. I got to question that because I'm pretty sure you haven't been trading in this type of scenario before. And it was anybody's guess what could happen. I could have been wrong. I hoped I was wrong, but it ended up going from 10, $12 down to $3. And then they cut off the trading, and now everybody's stuck getting NextBridge shares for a company that's private that can't be traded anywhere. And really the question right now is, will someone offer to buy your shares in the gray market to close shorts?
Right.
It's a great question. I don't know.
Right.
I'm as exhilarated to find out as anybody that's in that play, because I want to uncover corruption and anything bad or nefarious that's going on. So I wish everybody the best.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, especially, just the way I'm listening to it. You're not going to have that supply and demand in a typical short squeeze. You have, that FOMO, if you will, right, of buying pressure when shorts begin to cover their position. So if you're in a gray zone like that, where there's no supply and demand issues, it could turn into one of those just settlement issues that take place. So,
Scarlett's calling me out to wrap up the live stream in a relatively reasonable amount of time.
What did you just start? What time did you start?
Well, she was out visiting her family, her dad and her brother, and I wasn't sure what time she was going to get home. And of course, right when I started the live stream, she was getting home.
That's how it goes. That's all right. It happens.
She says I always start live streaming right when she gets home.
It's always inconvenient, right?
It does work out that way sometimes. Yes, all the pets have been fed. I did not give the rabbits food. Those are not my rabbits.
Yeah, so
those are your rabbits, Scarlett.
Gosh, are they caged rabbits, or do you guys have them like in a hutch?
She has a hutch for them, but she prefers them to be like, she has an open cage, like it's maybe 6 foot diameter.
Okay.
I've been advocating for putting them outside.
Yeah.
But she's not having that. I don't understand the whole having a rabbit as a pet thing.
They're all cute as babies.
I mean, they're cute as adults too, but they don't interact with you.
Yeah. Do they bite and stuff, or yours?
No. I mean, they'll come up to her or to us if we have food for them, but mostly they don't want to interact with humans. So
yeah,
I don't get the whole pet rabbit thing. Rabbit soup is phenomenal.
Oh, rabbit is good. Have you had squirrel by any chance, or no?
I don't recall. I'd have to go back I'd have to ask my dad.
Okay.
When we were younger kids, my dad was an avid hunter. We'd go dove hunting, pheasant hunting, duck hunting, and I'm sure we shot some rabbit along the way. I can't remember if I've ever had squirrel.
Rabbit is even like one of the best. So
I remember even on a camping trip going gigging for frogs and having frog legs.
Oh, that's one thing I haven't had yet. I haven't. I'm not a big seafood person, so I don't know how I do with it. But you go to all these nice restaurants, and
everything tastes like chicken.
Does it? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's crazy too that I haven't tried it, because I've had like alligator, especially down in like Florida. They have a lot of that down there. They're specialty restaurants compared to what they have here in Michigan. But yeah.
The rabbits are very cute. I've shown them on camera a couple times.
They're
some sort of lop-eared, so their ears fall down. I mean, I can't argue they're cute, but they ate my speaker cables here on this computer system. So that's why I have the earphones right now, because I have no speakers. And that was like a $400 speaker system.
Yeah.
Not very happy. I've got it over there on the shelf. I might figure out if I can solder and reconnect the wires.
So it's not like the ordinary speaker wire where just, two.
They ate the control wire that goes from the main on-off switch to the speakers. So
yeah. I have two kittens actually. They're about 8 months now, but you can see like my chair behind me. They're getting better. I've been disciplining them, but they've put their nails into my chair, and they're just little, but they bring more value obviously than a office chair. But it's a full-time job having pets, that's for sure. But they bring a lot of joy.
We have cats and dogs and chickens and rabbits now. And my hope is, eventually we plan to move out of the city a little bit, because she wants more animals, and I'm fine with that, but not in this location that we're in.
It's nice having chickens though, because farm fresh eggs, I'm telling you, there's some people that have never experienced a farm fresh egg, and it is insane the difference.
I get 6 to 8 eggs per day available.
Nice. So you probably are eating eggs every day.
I do eat eggs every day. Yep. And unless I'm just tired of them.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen, Tony, you're down in Texas, right?
I am in Texas. Yep.
Yeah. So up here in Michigan on Friday, we have a huge storm coming, which, to people in the UP and stuff, it's not really a big deal. But here in Michigan, it's been probably 10 years since we've had a bad winter. And we have like this huge storm coming in Thursday night and Friday. So everybody's panicking, running to the store and stocking up on food. And
we got it coming tonight.
Yeah.
It's going to get down
cold
to 19 degrees.
Oof.
but only for a day. I mean, last year we had below freezing for a week, and
Yep.
that ruined people's lives. Like
Yeah, that was catastrophic for you guys. You guys,
half the city had no power. I was one of the lucky ones, but they had no power. You couldn't drive anywhere because every store was closed, and even if they weren't closed, every road was iced over. So
God,
it was catastrophic. But I prep like at least 30 days of supplies, and even if we would have lost power, we were fine.
right. Still have your heat going and stuff like
We
that.
got firewood, we got toilet paper,
Right.
food.
Right.
We'll
Yeah,
we'll,
that's good.
we'll survive. We're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I saw people like, I'll do anything if someone could bring me a roll of toilet paper.
Oh my gosh, that was like the thing when COVID started. I don't know if it was like that in Texas, but here you had that toilet paper crisis. Everybody ran and bought up all the toilet paper. It's like we're in a situation where people are panicking, and the first thing that comes to their mind is stocking up on toilet paper. It's like you got to be kidding me.
The
It's
funny thing
unbelievable.
was, I've told this story before. Like when I saw everything going on in China in early 2020, I put out a message to all my people. I wasn't on YouTube, but I messaged my relatives and friends. I was like, stock up on masks, toilet paper, food, everything. And they were like, "Are you crazy?" And we bought several months supply, and I shorted the spy.
So
And
you
then
paid out well.
a month later, the fucking floor fell out in America because not because of any good reason, just panic, right?
Right. Right.
All the stores were empty. You couldn't find anything. And the spy fucking tanked. So sometimes I get things right.
The one thing looking back on that whole situation, I've talked about it before, but it's insane to me how, I'd say it was probably March of 2020 when businesses like seriously started closing down like crazy. I want to say, I think I have that right. Tony, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was just insane to me how you could close the doors to these companies, yet Wall Street, our government allowed Wall Street to go short these companies. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense how, something like that's even possible.
I don't want to, I don't even want to get into it. Like
Yeah.
over a beer, I'm happy to
Yeah.
talk with anybody and give
Yeah.
you my honest thoughts. But on YouTube, I don't want to get censored or
Yeah.
blocked in.
Yeah.
I see Grandpa Barney in the house. Also on the Discord, I'll say, whatever's on my mind. But on YouTube, where they will block you or demonetize you, no, we're
Yeah.
not going to talk about it. Hey, Grandpa Barney, I reached out to my buddy in Gig Harbor, and he said August, September. He agreed with you. Beautiful time to come. Talked to Scarlett a couple nights ago, and I'm going to put that on the calendar for 2023. Gig Harbor visit. But no, we don't want to come up there right now when you got snow and freezing rain on the way. Grandpa Barney, thank you. He's a lineman up there, keeping people's power on in these horrible snowstorms.
It's a busy job. People don't understand how hard that job is.
Yeah, I get really irritated at people like in my city when they were bitching about having no power. Like, you don't understand the crews that are working 24/7 to fix you
Right.
up. And I was driving around. My vehicle I could drive. I know how to drive on ice because I grew up driving on ice. Most Texans do not know how to drive on ice. They just crash their car into a ditch or into each other. When you drive around, all of our trees here take down the power lines.
Yeah.
I lost limbs even in my backyard. I got big oak trees out here. It was horrible, and
Yeah.
that takes a long time to fix.
It does. Yeah.
When
Because
you
their
got
priority, isn't your backyard, right?
you
It's
got
going to
you
be
got
the
to be
main.
patient. You got to be
Yeah.
patient,
Yep. Yeah.
and you got to prepare. Look, everyone had plenty of notice that all the when a weather system's coming, it's coming.
Right.
Just go buy a week's worth of shit.
A bunch of
It's not that
water and
hard.
yeah. Yeah. You have anything good planned for the holidays coming up here? You guys celebrate Christmas and stuff, or?
We're staying home for Christmas. We'll probably have family over. There's a big issue between who likes ham and who likes turkey. So
Oh boy.
it's like I can't buy a turkey and I can't buy a ham because half the people don't like it.
Right.
one or the other, and then I end up like I've got a week's worth, 10 days worth of leftovers to eat by myself.
It's a lot of work.
The family that's over, they'll eat their portion during the day, but I'm starting to think maybe just buying a pre-cooked breast of turkey
Yeah.
might be the
Yeah.
better way to go, or go get some catering.
Yeah, that's what we do here. We just buy a ham and then we get it from the Honey Baked Ham
I
Company. I don't know
love
if you
honey
guys.
baked ham,
Yeah,
but
that's where we.
I'm the only one that'll eat it. So what's the
Oh,
point?
they're missing out. That's all
I
I'm gonna
know.
say. But I get that, and then like they have like pre honey baked turkey breasts that just come in like the, whatever you call it, the bin or whatever. So I just get that because, like, let's be honest, like with the turkey and stuff, usually all I eat is like the white meat anyway. So I'm not
Oh,
like a fan of like
we'd get along then because I eat the dark meat, so we'd
okay.
have no problem. Hey, Grandpa Barney, that's a good question. Are you in a union up there? I'm curious if Grandpa Barney is a union worker. Grandpa Barney's been racking up the overtime with winter weather.
Oh, it's got to be nice.
Back in the day, Grandpa Barney, now look, back in the day, I wasn't making near as much money as you are now. But when I started in the corporate world as a peon, making $12 an hour, $15 an hour, our company went through a phase where no hiring was allowed, but we had a shit ton of work in our department, and they authorized as many hours as we wanted to work. And we would work 12 hours a day plus Saturday and Sunday. And those double time paychecks, we just felt like we were living the life, Grandpa. I mean, yes, you have no life when you're working 80 hours a week, right? But when that's all over and you got the paychecks to show for it, oh man.
Yeah.
I remember showing up to work every morning. We were like, what a country. We're making $25 an hour today, and our normal pay was $12 an hour. This was back in the late 80s, guys. I was starting out my jobs.
That's weird. I didn't know you did that for a living, Tony. I thought you were a ex-hedge fund manager or something. the rumors that go around.
No, I've been my first. I have a degree in economics, and I have a degree in electronics. And my first job, my first job, real job, was a corporate job for a technology company, a Fortune 100, and I did tech work. And I started out as a temp, actually making $9 an hour. Then I got hired on full time as a regular employee, making 12. And I left that company 15 years later, making over 100K. Plus I had options bonuses, like $1 million in options. I mean, it treated me very well, but I can relate to everybody who's struggling and who's grinding it out. I started out grinding it out.
Yep.
So wherever I'm at in life right now, I haven't worked a corporate job in 15, 20 years, but I can definitely relate to each and every one of you that's grinding it out. There were periods where I was working 3 jobs to make money, to have to invest. And I would use that money to invest in real estate or stocks. I believe in hard work and banking money to use it for your future.
Yep.
I fucking grinded it in my 20s. I went to college while I was working.
It's a lot. I have a twin sister, believe it or not, and she's going to get her doctorates to be a doctor, of course, but that's the same with her. She's working full time and going to school full time, and she's always calling me, hey, let's go get a drink at the bar and stuff. I'm going, how do you have time to make all these plans? I don't understand but people that are good at scheduling, they're productive people, that's for sure. Where me, I'm not very good at scheduling, so I feel like I'm always busy when compared to other people. I'm really not that busy, but everybody's different with the way they schedule out their days and their time. And
Grandpa says he's in IBEW Local 77 out of Seattle. Yes, I did see that picture you sent me, but I didn't inspect it to see if you were union, Grandpa. Hey, I dated a girl one time, Grandpa. I told this story a few months back of a girl I was on a date with at a restaurant. I had met her at a bar or something. I invited her to dinner, wherever we were at for dinner. Another girl that I worked with came up and said, "Oh, hey, Tony, how you doing?" And I was going to introduce my date, and I couldn't remember her name.
Uh-oh. That's a bad screw up.
That's what happens when you're dating too many at one time. And
Oh,
she had to say her name. Oh yeah, my name's Michelle. And I was like, oh God.
not good.
Anyways, I remember this girl specifically, not only because of that incident, but at her previous job, she was a union advocate, right? I remember her telling me she was a union advocate for her company that she was working with. She ended up coming to the company that I was working with, and all of a sudden I didn't trust her anymore. I was like, you're not going to come try and start some union shit here, you traitor. Anyways, my company never unionized.
That's good. I mean, it's got its perks. It's got its pros and cons. Just depends. I feel like on the size, but
Are you
yeah,
union? Are you union?
me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not anymore. I'm actually a full-time day trader now. So I parted
Ah,
ways
okay.
from my job about a month. Well, yeah, I would say it was about a month ago now, and I
Well,
just do options. So
respect, man. This is
thank
a
you.
hard time of year, a hard
Yeah.
market to be a full-time day trader.
It's definitely, I mean, it was nerve-wracking. I've been day trading for scalping with options, actually, to be more specific. I'm not buying hard stock, but
Are you scalping index options or stocks?
stocks. Yep. I want to get into futures too, but just because futures are trading, at night too. So like right now, sitting here, I could be trading futures, um, like the SPX and things like that. But it's just little bits at a time. I don't want to like devote my whole time. If I start trading futures, I'll be up all night too, and I won't want to go to sleep. So um, I just started with the stocks, and I have a blast with it. It's trading options. You can make a lot of money. And, obviously I made decent at my old job, and I'm making a lot more now, but I'm somebody who's very disciplined, right? If it starts going against you for some reason, you preserve that capital and cut it, where, it takes somebody, I feel like, a long time to develop those traits to be able to do so. But I have a blast with it. I'm still new. I'm not, a seasoned vet, but it's I feel like every day I'm learning something new, and my wins have been greater than my losses, and it's enough. The way I'm doing it, I've kind of I'm making as much as I was at my old job, or a little bit more, and it's enough to pay my bills and just take it easy and kind of ramp into it slowly, and build that portfolio by trading instead of investing a portfolio that there's no risk if you're playing with the house's money, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I love it. I'm obsessed with the stock market, and I learn more and more every day. And holding AMC and stuff like that, and holding my other stocks, like obviously, like you said, right now in a bear market, it's very difficult to make money by holding stocks. So instead of wimping about it, I took the step to do something else about it. And
I respect
um,
that. And to trade options right now and be successful at it is really difficult.
yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
it comes up every day in our Discord, and I'm not doing index trading because I feel like the market is very bipolar. Like one day it
Mhm.
wants to go up, and then for some reason the next day it wants to go down, and I don't like that uncertainty, so I'm not doing a lot of that.
Yep.
But if you're successful at it, hats off to you.
Yeah, it's just nice, I mean, I like the idea. Like I said, I'm not swinging options, so I'm not holding them overnight. But holding on to something for 5 or 10 minutes, making 20% and getting out. That's what I like, because obviously, going to bed at night knowing you're holding something
Yeah.
it adds a lot more stress to the plate. So
That might be the difference between you and me, because I always say if I'm going to buy an option because of the risk, I want to be pretty sure that I can get about 100% gain.
okay, so you're
And
going for the big numbers.
Yeah, I always talk
Yeah.
about the people. I say there's people that trade options that are happy with a 20 or 30% gain, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great daily gain if you can do it, right?
Yep.
I have much respect for you guys that are doing that, but when I pull up a options payout table, I'm looking for, if it goes the way that I want, the way that I think it's going to go, can I make 100%? And if I can make 2, 3, 400%, that's a bonus. So those are the ones that I tend to buy, which obviously means that I'm buying much less than you.
Yeah, and obviously, how long, like I guess it changes for you every day probably, but what's your average, like, so I'm trying to figure out, like, how far out do you typically go? Are you looking at like next year's typically to be safe, or
If I have a good feeling about a pre-earnings type deal, I'll buy options that are expiring in less than a week, but
okay.
typically I'm buying them 3 months to a couple years out.
Okay. So you're paying good money for that options contract, but it's a lot safer, of course.
Yeah, and
Um,
like my Royal Caribbean one, I'm about to lose my ass on that one.
yeah. The nice thing is about options though is you can cut it, I'm sure you disciplined yourself to know what your loss is, right? If it's 25%, whatever it may be.
Some of them I cut, some of them I let ride, some of them like
Mhm.
degrade so quick that you can't cut
Yeah,
it, and there's so much time left on it, you hope it comes back.
right.
That's what happened to me on Royal Caribbean. There was so much time left on it that I thought it would come back, and it just didn't. So I'm gonna lose thousands of dollars on that one.
Oh,
Those
dang,
were
that's hard to.
those were leaves, but you know what? You make it up on other plays.
Yeah.
Not
Yep.
everyone's a
Yeah.
winner.
And you have to have the want to keep coming back. That's a lot of people, I feel like, that first get into options, they lose one time and then they're done, right? The market takes your money and then you're done, and you're kind of gun shy now.
I
Um,
always say on
just
options, just like any investment, 10% of your portfolio max. You don't want to YOLO your portfolio on options,
Yep, I agree.
because if you fuck up, you're done, and no one wants to be in that position.
Yep.
So I spent on Royal Caribbean what I was willing to lose. I spent a lot. I'm going to lose it and make
You
it up
never
on the
know.
next one.
You never know. But yeah, I mean, the market does some weird stuff, especially right now. Like everybody, you look at the market this week since last Wednesday, what have all the stocks been doing? They've been selling off. And, I think that we're due. I came into your stream the other day and said I figured there'd be a pump yesterday or today. And truthfully, like, stocks that go down come back up, and stocks that go up come back down. We don't get them at, we don't know the exact day that's going to occur, but I would assume, I think we're still going to keep hitting 52-week lows, but there's got to be some sort of bounce in the meantime. I guess they'd call it a bear market rally, right? Like we've seen today, these stocks rallied 4% or whatever, but everybody's bearish in the market. So these market makers don't want to pay these premiums on these puts. So they're going to raise the market up, burn all these people out of puts expiring this week. And then we're going to be back to the same play next week.
That is the fun thing to become an expert on, like to look at the puts versus calls and figure
Yep.
out where they're going to drive the overall index.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on that because I don't pay enough attention to it. But yeah, if you do, there's definitely some. You can make some predictions. I see Tindy Time in the chat. What's up, amigo? What do you got new to tell us, Tindy Time?
What's up, Tendy?
Hey, Scavenger, did you ever get an apology, by the way, for someone saying that you were a financial advisor or some shit?
No, I didn't get one, and I don't expect one.
That's disappointing to hear.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, it just as well as I do. Sometimes people, unfortunately, in this YouTube world, sometimes people want to use your name for, clickbait. And obviously that certain YouTuber knew after he posted that video that it was wrong and took it down. But when you make, accusations like that towards me, I'm going to acknowledge it, especially, when it reached 1,000 people. The word of mouth spreads fast on social media. So it's, it probably wasn't worth my time even acknowledging it, but I feel like, an accusation like that, because I never did tell anyone what I did for work. So you know how things spread. I would
I
have
don't
been
even know what you
trending on
do for
Twitter.
work. I just assume you were like look, the clothes you wear, I assume like you were a carpenter or
Yep. Yeah,
something
I did.
something along those lines.
I did. So I have like dress clothes and all that, but I've never been a fan of like in a lot of my videos, you see me wearing like sweatshirts and stuff. And a lot of that's, just because I work from home now. But my old job, I did research and development. So I have a binding contract, so I can't state specifics with them. I have it for another year, but I did traceable technology and antimicrobial coatings and stuff, but I was developing these products to give to your fruit companies like, Del Monte or Driscoll's, and targeting companies like Costco for traceable technology. So I was like building these chips basically from the ground up. And then we were in the research and development stage, giving them to these companies for testing and trials. And then the company, I was doing that for about 7 years. And then the company went through like a hostile executive takeover. So they were private invested. So we had many investors that would come in. And obviously, just as well as I do, these companies, specifically that I were in, when you have these private investors want to see you hiring people. They want to see executives coming in from other companies that have high profile. So for instance, like um, an operations manager from You'll Play Yogurt Company. They want to see these high key characters in roles in their company because it's investor bait. So we had this, long story short, we had this massive hostile takeover. They wanted me to do some things that I wasn't too fond of, little Ponzi schemish, and it just didn't work out. I didn't want to get involved with that stuff and go down that road. And that's when I decided to part ways. I wasn't ready to part ways yet, but sometimes life throws a curveball your way that you just have to catch it and play it,
Yep.
So
I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube videos, but I did watch yours where you gave that sort of explanation of what you did for work. And I was like, wow, I know nothing about any of this. Like it's
it's a big industry.
I'd like to hear more offline someday.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll for sure talk. It's, if I'm not online, I have no problem talking, but I don't know who's watching, but I would love to have
There's a lot of puff crazy ass people out there that
Mhm.
make up their own narrative. So that was my general advice is like, don't disclose too much
Right.
because people like the paranoid conspiracy theory people, they go a little bit nutso and make up their own narratives. And
Oh yeah.
well, and now you know, now you know.
Yeah, it's insane. It's a shame too, someone as big as, I would say your channel is more of like the broader market, where mine's more niche to a certain topic like AMC, but it's a shame for someone like me to wake up in the morning and see someone that big making a childish accusation like
It is
that. Like
really disappointing. It's really
it is.
disappointing. And look, I've dealt with far worse than you, but
Yep.
rest assured, they're going to be keep on coming after
Oh
you.
yeah.
And I don't understand that whole thing of like why they want no one to talk about AMC. Like you're one of them, as I said to you a couple months ago, you're one of the most bullish people on AMC that I know. Even so much to the fact that I almost didn't trust you.
I feel it. I
Like
get it though. I get it,
Like, why do they not want people to talk bullish about AMC? What is with these YouTubers that they want to shut down everyone that likes this stock?
I mean,
I don't fucking get it.
the only conclusion that I've been able to come to, for myself at least, and I could be totally off stating this, but you look at AMC compared to all the other stocks in the market, and one of the only differences with AMC compared to other stocks is that retail have majority power, where the top 10 wealthiest Americans own 88% of all the stocks traded on the New York Stock Exchange. So all of our lives they've had full control over everything. They've been in bed with their short buddies and everything like that. And finally you have a situation where institutionals sold their shares to retail, and we have control over a stock. I mean, you don't see paid bots coming into YouTube channel. Like I could go start talking about Best Buy stock tomorrow and I wouldn't get any hate. I wouldn't get any, paid bots coming in. You don't see on the news them shilling Walmart, but it's just AMC. It's just AMC, and there's a big reasoning behind that. And we may not get to ever know the exact reason, but I'm pretty sure people are smart enough to kind of step back and just look at the overall picture. I think there's a lot of one-sided people here who, want to look at the small things, where if you just take a step back and look what's really going on and the broad spectrum of things, it really opens your eyes to what's actually happening. And it's a very interesting thing that takes place. It's
just disappointing to me. Like if you really support the stock as a YouTuber and you're tearing down other people that support the company, like what are you about, bro?
I mean, to put myself down, like I did say when I was on Mass's stream, someone came in and they were like, yeah, Common Sense Investor said that the AMC squeeze play is over. He posted a video. Sorry, I just said his name, but whatever. But he posted a video and it said, AMC plays dead. You guys messed up. And it's like, regardless if that's the clickbait title or not, like how many thousands of people are going to see that title and like spend the rest of their day depressed thinking everything's over because someone they idolize, did something like that. I just don't like that stuff. I've told everybody on my YouTube 1,000 times, I will talk the same way to 20 people as I will if I have 400 people in one of my live streams. Like it doesn't, my narrative's not going to change based off of how many people I have backing me on this. This is, at the end of the day, this is for my investment returns. This isn't, you know what I mean? Like I'm just talking about something that I'm passionate in and that I believe is going to happen for me. What happens for them is the decision they have to make on their own. Same when you talk on your channel, like there's no reason for hate, because at the end of the day, like everybody has the freedom to do what they want to do at the end of the day. I mean, it's just unreal. And these are the same people that are on Twitter saying F cancel culture, blah, blah, blah. Like you're trying to cancel culture us YouTubers who have our own opinion. It's unreal. And yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I've been bullish on this for a long time, and it's crazy that I get hate for being bullish on a stock that I'm invested in. It's just unbelievable.
I was kind of laughing and marveling. Like, I don't know if you follow, are you on Twitter at all?
Yeah.
Do you know Avi Harkishan? Not avid trader, but Avi.
Yeah.
He posts very factual based, and sometimes people call him shill bear analysis of AMC stock. And, I can relate to what he's posting because he's like analyzing facts and trying to tell people like, hey, it might not be the greatest news, but here's what you need to be aware of.
Right.
And things could go great or they could go bad depending on what happens. And Charles Gasparino decided this week that he was going to start attacking Avi, calling him a pump and dumper for AMC. When I'm reading Avi's post saying that the ape might not be the best thing for AMC investors and it might go down, I'm like, did you even read what he said, bro? Like, Avi is being bearish on ape, and you're calling him a pump and dumper on ape. That actually gives me that makes me feel happy inside. Like these Charles Gasparino and these people, I think, are being paid or they have an incentive to talk bad about this company. When I see them trying to take down a fact-based channel, just like I see everybody trying to take me down, a fact-based channel, it makes me even just like redouble my efforts.
Well, it tells you you're winning. You're doing something right.
It tells me I'm doing something right.
Yeah. If you don't have any haters, then obviously, you're not on the right path.
Is the company troubled? Yes. Do we acknowledge the troubles and the potential? Yes, we acknowledge both. But the fact that they're coming after people that are talking about facts makes me feel like we're doing something right, Scavenger.
It does. I would love to sit down with someone like Charles Gasparino and look at him and say, what do you want me to do with my AMC position? What would you like me to do? Would you like me to sell it? In order for there to be a seller, there has to be a buyer. So what do you want me to do? Do you want me to sell my shares so institutions can buy it up? I mean, what do you really want me to do, Charles? Like, I mean, these guys are accusing, like you said, Avi for pumping and dumping, yet these guys can go on public television like Charles Gasparino and literally tell us to sell our position. Like, I don't see a difference. I don't see a difference if I say, Tony, go buy AMC stock, rather than, you know, you have Jim Cramer saying, hey, sell your AMC stock. Like, what is the difference there? The difference is they're on top and we're little cockroaches and they don't want us to win. That's the difference, in my opinion, and it's just sickening. It's stupid. But yeah, the hate's real, dude. The hate's everywhere. YouTube, every video I post, I have hate in there, and I always make sure to say in my videos, like, this is my opinion. Like, if you don't agree with me, that's okay. That is completely okay. If you want to come in the comments and give me your side of the story and why you think I'm wrong about a certain topic, that's fine. You're not going to get banned for that. I'm not going to hate on you for that. I love hearing everybody's perspective, but when you start coming in and belittling me and, you know, making threats towards me because of a certain way that I think, that's when the problem occurs.
Yeah, I don't ever block people for having differing opinions. I block them for hateful speech or insults. Like, if your only comment is an insult, that's an insta block.
Right. And that's all.
I'll never think about you again.
Yep. It's unreal. Like, I never thought that it would come to this, where it's like, I mean, you know, I've had threats, not any in a long time, knock on wood, but I've had threats on YouTube where there's people out there that freaking want to kill me for the way I think. You know, they somehow manage to find my Facebook page, and usually they'll message me on there. But I mean, there are people who are genuinely angry out there, and that's like, you know, you talk about all these, you know, before it was YouTubers, let's all go to Vegas together and party after the MOAS. It's like, holy crap. Like, is that a good idea? Putting all these people together? Who else is going to show up? You know, I get recognized in the store here in Michigan. If I'm in the store grocery shopping, I've had it where someone comes up to me, Scavenger, you're that guy from YouTube, right? It's
really?
like,
I've never been recognized one time. Gus says he's been noticing a lot of news articles and YouTubers trying hard to get retail to turn on Adam Aaron. Gus, I could not agree more. And that is why I think, like, if I do one video this week, it's going to be that video that I was talking about an hour ago. Like, do CEOs care about retail? People are so worried about, does Adam Aaron love retail? Does he care about us? And they really want you to think that Adam Aaron doesn't care about you. He cares about the success of his company, and you will be the ancillary benefit of that.
Yep.
The beneficiary of that if the company does well. So you got to trust that you either got to trust that he's doing the best for the company, or you don't. And if you don't believe it, then don't own the stock. Exactly. I don't know how more simple it could be.
You can't get any more simple. And that's like, I was talking to someone on my live earlier. I'm like, find me another CEO. You know, I'm an investor in GameStop too, not nearly the size of my AMC position, but you know, so this is why I'm going to talk about GameStop, because I'm an investor in it. But
I bought some more GameStop today, by the way, at the low of the day. Yep.
Awesome. But, you know, you don't see Ryan Cohen meeting with the shareholders. You don't see GameStop doing what AMC is doing with their expansions. You know, you got AMC getting into credit card industry, popcorn industry, acquiring other companies. Like, aside from branding, what else has GameStop done? You know what I mean? Like, there's like, I love them both.
NFT marketplace.
Well, right. But NFTs are dead, in my opinion. But maybe, you know, they've come down a decent ways from where they were, you know, 6 months ago. But, you know, you like, how can you hate on a CEO that like, if Adam Aaron was doing something to harm the retail investor, I highly doubt that Adam Aaron would be going into these theaters, doing these showings and talking to his biggest enemies. You know what I mean? This guy is literally putting himself out there. He's putting out tweets that he doesn't have to put out. He could just go radio silent and keep his mouth shut. But instead, he's out there meeting with shareholders. He's out there tweeting. He's out there talking on the news about how optimistic he is for AMC. Like, what else do you want? Go show me Ryan Cohen going to GameStop's meeting shareholders. Go show me the CEO of Mullen Automotive doing this. Like, nobody else is doing what Adam Aaron is doing. So the fact someone even has the audacity to, say something, like, you can believe what you want to believe, but the fact someone's going to go after Adam Aaron, trying to pin him as somebody who doesn't have transparency towards his retail investors and wants the worst for us, like, I just don't buy that. You take a step back, like, you're not going to find somebody else doing what he's doing, and I'm going to stay on that. Like,
so let me bring up a controversial topic, and Nana Ape kind of questioning a similar thought. Nana Ape says he cares because we buy a lot of stock. So he cares, right? We go to movies and we buy merchandise, so he cares. This is a very controversial topic. Like, is Adam Aaron playing retail investors? Does he really care about you? And I don't know, Scavenger, if you were here like an hour ago when I was talking about, do CEOs care about retail investors? Did you hear that speech?
Yeah. So I mean, I'll let you continue, but to answer the first question, do CEOs care about their retail investors? I think that depends on the majority shareholder of their company. I mean, I think the CEO is always going to cherish who owns a majority of their float, right? I think that if we were in a situation on AMC where institutions owned 80% of the float, our relationship with Adam Aaron would be very different, because if you were to lose the retail investors, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But right now, retail investors are the sole, engine keeping AMC's stock active. And, I think it just depends on the ownership. And I think a lot of it, depends on, who the CEO is as a person too. I mean, a lot of these CEOs, you can look right through their eyes and see that they're crooks. But Adam Aaron, I'm pretty good at reading somebody. I'd like to say I am, at least. I guess, I don't try to judge a book by its cover, but, everything that I've felt with Adam Aaron has felt different than it has with other CEOs. Like, all right,
I'm going to disagree with you for a second.
Okay.
And this is going to be very controversial. People hate when I say this, Scavenger. They're going to come in the comments and just tear me up.
No, come on. It's okay to have your own opinion.
CEOs care about the survivability of their company, and ensuring the future viability of their company. And Adam Aaron and Diane Garrett know that the future viability of their companies rely on retail investors. So they're going to cater to that. Right? Can anybody argue with that?
No, I agree with you on that. All right. For sure.
I think we can all agree with that. But so I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they don't care about us, but they need us. But at the end of the day, what they care about is making the best strategic decisions to ensure the future viability of their company. And as a retail investor, if you own that company and they're making the right decisions, then you will benefit from that. So stop thinking that he cares about you and focus on that he cares about the company.
Yep.
And that if the company survives and the company does well, you will do well. You don't need to dwell on the fact whether he cares about you or not. That could be an act. It could be an act, right? I don't trust anybody. I don't trust Diane Garrett. I don't trust Adam Aaron. I don't trust anyone 100%. I think that Adam Aaron and Diane Garrett care about the future of their company. And as investors of those companies, if they are good stewards of the company, we will benefit. That's the bottom line.
I mean, to counter that, I agree with everything you just said 100%. The one thing I'll add on that is that, how do I put this? So
I know it's a difficult topic, right? I just brought up a very controversial
And I'm just trying to
point.
find the words, because I totally agree with you on everything you just said. But, as a retail investor with any company I'd ever be in, like, that's the thing. You have these people on Twitter and stuff talking about how, Adam Aron needs to address the short selling. Adam Aron needs to do this. And as a retail investor, like, I would rather, like, even these meet and greets, like, I love how Adam Aron's doing this, but this is valuable time. This guy's a high key. We pay this guy a lot of money. And, Adam Aron has a lot on his plate already to run the company. And the second that I see, everything that I've seen so far, the management team of AMC, like you said, wants to better the company. And the moment I see, there's been many other companies out there like these pump and dump plays where the CEOs aren't even doing anything with their company. They're blaming their stock price, dying and their company dying on market manipulation instead of actually going out and fixing their company. Right.
Oh, wow, man.
I mean,
that's a whole nother topic I've been diving deep on the Discord with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to join your Discord. I don't know. Is it in your link?
It's in the video descriptions. I don't
Okay.
advertise it because I don't want people joining it. We don't advertise Discord here.
Well, if I'm invited, I'd love to.
I don't invite anybody. No.
Well, if I have permission.
I don't want you. If you figure it out, that's on you.
All right. Sounds good. But anyways, to touch back real quick. So agree with everything you said in the first part, and looking at Adam Aron, I agree. I agree to disagree on the part where, I think there's more care towards the retail investors than just simply, we own the float. I think there's more of a moral duty that Adam Aron has as we came in and obviously saved the company. I think there's a different connection there. But like I said, I would rather I don't want Adam Aron to put his main focus in addressing manipulation in the stock market. Like, he's already done that for us. Go look at his tweets like that. He's already acknowledged what they're doing, the news, the short and distorting, the FUD. Like, he's acknowledged it a million times. Yep. And I don't know if it's emotions with people or what, but like, they want this guy to take time out of his day every day to just keep reassuring, themselves and what, Adam Aron stepping back and focusing on the company is really what I would like to see as an investor, because at the end of the day, the shorts are going to get squeezed as AMC becomes a profitable business again. That's as simple as it gets.
That is the bottom line right there. If if you will allow him the time to fix the fucking company, every company that is heavily shorted is shorted for a reason. And when that reason no longer becomes viable, then the shorts get out. That's the patience message that I want to pass on to people, is like, give him time to fucking fix the problems. He's not even in control. Like, the movie production companies are in control, right? We need better movies.
Hate coming in on me right now. You thought you were gonna get the hate, but I got the hate.
We need better movies. We need more movies. Like, he's doing the right strategic things he can for the company to assure its future viability. Until movies we get better and we get more in 2023, shaping up to be great. Get off his dick.
Well, and that's the biggest thing, even for the naysayers out there that say movies are dead. Okay, they're moving on from just doing movies. They're, the thing I'm most excited for personally, Tony, I know there's a lot of things coming in 2023. Obviously, the movie industry being the backbone, right? The spine. But, this popcorn industry is way bigger than I think people even know. Like,
maybe so. Yeah.
In my opinion.
Who knows?
But the thought behind it is that, everybody that hates on him and stuff, like, we are no longer just a theater business anymore. Like, we are I think it took COVID to give AMC's management team a wake-up call, but we are now evolving to, like, AMC was behind time, so was GameStop. We were behind in time. And we finally have this business who's taking the brick and mortar theater company and expanding it to set us up for the next 50 years, and
who dies? You know who dies, Scavenger?
Who's that?
People like Blockbuster that don't innovate and change. You know what Adam Aron's doing? He's innovating and changing.
Yep.
And people want to shit on everything that he's trying. And I say, fuck all of you.
Yep.
Could credit cards be a bust?
Maybe,
Probably not.
but
Could
maybe.
popcorn be a bust? Probably not. They're going to generate some revenue,
Yeah.
and anything that they are trying is better than zero.
Right. Absolutely.
So fuck
Absolutely.
all you haters that
Yep.
are like, hey, credit cards, that's horrible. Popcorn, that's horrible. What do you want him to do?
Right.
He's
You could have
trying
it.
new things. Let him try.
Yep.
That's innovation. That's like not just like we got one business model and that's it.
Right. I love it. I mean, I'm optimistic. Like I said, if we were in a situation right now where they were still just a theater company, just showing movies, didn't make any acquisitions, and we are still in the same place we were at the end of 2019. And the management team just came out and said, we need more movies. We're not going to do anything. We have $1 billion cash on hand and we're just going to wait for the movies. I probably would feel a little bit different about my investment right now. But like you said, the fact that we are doing something to evolve with the way the world is coming, the way the world's evolving, AMC's evolving with it. I think it's a very positive thing. And I don't,
time will tell. Time will
right,
tell, right? Like
right.
no, all these people saying that popcorn and credit cards are stupid. You've seen zero results yet. Like
Right.
your opinion is meaningless to me. You obviously have a bearish stance and you don't want the company to try anything new. So fuck off until we see the results.
Yep.
Your opinion is meaningless right now. You're just a fucking shill.
Yep. Amen.
Why don't you wait and see what the results are?
Yep. And that's the thing too, even within our retail community, the ones that are bullish, right, that want a squeeze to happen. It's like these people literally want a squeeze to happen. And they're, the ones that come out, I don't care what AMC does. I just want to squeeze. Okay, well, you clearly don't know how the world works because AMC needs to do well or at least be on a trajectory to do well for a squeeze to occur. If AMC comes out in the beginning of 2023 and says by Q2 we're going to have popcorn in the stores, it's ready to go, obviously shorts are going to be nervous. I'm not necessarily saying we need to be a cash positive business for things to start moving, but we need to be on that trajectory. I want to see Q4 earnings, if we're not cash positive, to be very close to cash positive. I want to see these earnings be better than the last earnings. Like every earnings we've had have slowly been kind of grinding up, and that I want to keep seeing that trend.
All right,
And
but Q4 is not on that trajectory right now. Right?
We're a little behind. But
I'm sorry to be the
no, it's true. You're fine.
bucket of water person, but Q4 is not shaping up to be great. And the only reason I want to mention that is because I don't want anyone to be upset or surprised if Q4 is not phenomenal.
Yeah.
We have 2 weekends left to make up a difference, which is pretty big.
Yeah, like $2 billion or something, right?
800 million.
800 million. I don't know where I got 2 billion. But the thing I tell people is,
Howdy.
even
You've been in here for 2 hours already.
All right, Scarlett's laying down the law now.
Go on the date. go do your stuff, and we'll.
Now let's finish it up.
I was just gonna say, God, I'm losing track. Talk for a second. I'll think about it.
About Q4.
Oh yeah, so obviously we have a lot of angry people about Adam diluting Ape and raising that $162 million. But because I'm bullish on the management team, whether I get the hate or not, I truly believe Adam Merritt, because we already have cash in the bank. Okay. In my mind, there's a reason why AMC needed that cash and why they needed it now. I think the management team's smart enough to know it probably wasn't a great idea diluting Ape under $1. But obviously
it was not under $1. It was like $1.14.
Right. And then yeah. So but even at that low price, like AMC doesn't need that money right now. So I truly believe there's a reasoning. Maybe we don't know it. Maybe, like you said, it was for Cinemark to acquire more theater locations that are, better performing locations. But I truly believe AMC's management team has a reason for needing that money right now. And until I'm proven wrong on that, I would like to see, what they do with that $162 million. I highly doubt they liquidate. I highly doubt they raise that cash just to put it in the bank and let it sit there is what I'm trying to say.
So for everybody who's like worried about him diluting and adding ape, I'm just going to repeat this as we wrap up tonight so I don't end up sleeping on the couch. Adam, look, in the next quarterly earnings announcement and the one after that, the one thing that people are going to be focusing on, the bears, the haters, people that want to see AMC fail, is the cash position.
Yep.
Right? They're going to want to be painting the story that this company is going to go bankrupt in one quarter. And right now, the way I look at it is we've got a year at least of cash to see us through, and maybe more if 2023 is great. So they don't want to see Adam Aron selling ape, and he probably had to. Like, look, guys, they need to make sure the cash when Q4 results come in is in a decent position. That's good stewardship of the company.
Absolutely.
Is it great that he's diluting at that low price? Fuck no. None of us
sucks.
like dilution. None of us like it at that price. But he's got an infinite amount of apes to use as he needs over the next coming years, and no ape is not going to be converted to AMC shares anytime soon. They're going to keep on diluting as they need to raise cash, because that is the golden ticket to make sure this company doesn't go bankrupt. You can like that or not like it. I'm going to tell you like it is.
Yeah. Puts us in a better position on the books, on the balance sheet. So I agree.
The company, the CEO is going to do what he needs to do to ensure the future viability of the company. Could there be some short-term pain for retail investors because of dilution? Yep. And by the way, you're not going to avoid that by holding AMC over APE. They're both diluted when APE is issued.
Yep.
If you don't understand that, reach out to me. I'll walk you through it.
I get the whole gist, because them together obviously makes the overall value of AMC. So
they're all reported on the same income statement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look up Google diluted earnings per share. I said this back in August before it was even released. I talked about diluted earnings per share.
Someone said a Joe Biden moment.
Hoops dad says your wife thinks the hat is sexy. You're in for Scarlett. Should I wear the hat to bed? She's giving me the evil eye and no answers. So
I guess that means yes.
Should I wear the hat to bed? She said no.
Oh, real quick, Tony, I noticed you took your own picture of that thumbnail because I seen the hat in there, and it was a phenomenal photo, by the way.
The photo for tonight?
Yep.
That was a straw hat, which I do not own yet.
I thought it was white. I'm colorblind a little bit, so it looked like, but it looked like a picture you would take. I know you're good at taking photos. So.
I did think the photo was very reminiscent of me, but I don't own a straw hat yet, but I will by the summer.
Good.
T plus 90, Andrew, anybody asking about T plus 90? I saw comments earlier. Look, I've talked about T plus 90 many, many times. I can't get behind the T plus 90 thing.
It'd be great if it did something, but yeah, usually
it'd be great, but like look at my Twitter post a month or two ago. I put out my DD on T plus 90. I don't see it pertaining to our stock.
Right. But you never know. Something could happen, but I don't get my hopes up for any dates anymore. Just, the letdown's worse than just already assuming nothing's going to happen, right?
No dates, guys. No dates. No clickbait. No pump and dump. Look, every day, I'm going to say this one last time before we end this live stream. Every day I wake up hopeful that some unknown catalyst will happen. I'm not going to spend my time on this channel talking to you about catalysts or dates.
Right.
I'm focused on fundamentals of the company improving. And if something happens, that is a bonus. You see many, many stocks run up for no reason every week.
Yep. No news.
What was COSM ran up 9,900%.
For what, right? There was no news.
Well, I mean, it was lack of people being able to trade and whatever.
Right. That whole situation screwed up. But
anything is possible in any stock. So I focus on the long term, on the fundamentals, and I wake up every day hoping that today will be the day that there's like some catalyst. And you never know.
all we can do is wait. Andrew, if you're right, I'll buy you a beer. But either way, patience is the key here, in my opinion. All you have to do is be patient. It's a hard thing to conquer, but if you're patient and you get in the long-term investor mentality and mindset, that's what's gonna pay off.
Wrong says between now and 2050, we'll squeeze. Look, right now, the cost to borrow is very high. The available shares to short is very low. Just like the basic common sense of like, would anybody short AMC or APE at these prices? You got to be stupid. We're at fair value, or we're lower than fair value. I don't understand it. When a catalyst happens, whatever it is, you're going to see the price run up pretty quickly.
Yep. I agree.
You just got to hang in. You got to be patient. You got to be emotionless, cold-blooded until that day happens. And I know that's tough for some people. You've been told every day for 2 years that it's going to squeeze tomorrow because of X, Y, or Z. I don't do that here.
Yep. All right, Tony. Well, go hang out with Scarlett, and I definitely appreciate you having me on here tonight. It means a lot, and hopefully we can get on here maybe after Christmas and do another one together. Maybe we'll have some different news to talk about, and hopefully some things.
I hope to meet you one day in person. I
would love to.
I can't say that I have any plans to head up to Michigan.
Well, I could always use a nice warm vacation in Texas. So.
If you're ever in Texas, hit me up.
Yeah, I would you'll know before I leave. So, but yeah, I would love to, Tony. And if you're available next week, I hope you and Scarlett, if we don't talk, I'm sure we'll talk before Christmas. But I hope you guys have a fantastic holiday, and I hope that those 8 days of leftovers get eaten, and that you guys have a blessed holiday and have a good one. All right.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for everybody that tuned in tonight, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.